Good evening, Amma. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all of you. Right. So today we will start this fourth chapter, inspection, inquiry, and investigation. So the importance of this chapter has been increasing on a day by day. So earlier this chapter is not that much of importance, or the chapter does not occupy that much of prominence. Now this chapter is getting importance day by day. The reason for increasing importance of this chapter, the reason for increasing importance of this chapter is that the frauds has been increasing. Corporate misconduct, lapse of corporate governance has been on increasing trend. On an average, at least in a month, we'll see 4 or 5 big size scandals or big size corporate frauds. That is the reason the importance of this chapter has becoming increasing day by day. So therefore, according to the examination weight also will change. Okay, definitely institute will go as per the present market scenario. So accordingly, institute will increase the weight of this chapter also in the examination, as the institute is doing the same with respect to the prevention of money laundering. Earlier, prevention of money laundering used to occupy very less weightage. Once in a while, once in 3 or 4 attempts, they used to test this money laundering. Now they are testing every attempt, and that also one or two questions they are testing. Rather than 3 marks, they are testing approximately 6 to 8 marks. Prevention of money laundering chapter. They are testing various topics because the importance of the concept has been increased. In a similar fashion, I'm expecting the institute will increase the weightage of this chapter because of increasing corporate frauds. Okay, ma? Right. Before going to the main provisions in this chapter, so first we'll discuss what is the rationale for this chapter, or what is the object of introducing this chapter. Okay, ma? Rationale for this chapter. Rationale for this chapter. Okay, so the first point is that every economic decision has its own pros and cons. Every economic decision has its own pros and cons. The point is that we have to think in a multi-dimensional way. Okay, but one of the effect here is that, so every economic decision is having multi effects. Okay, so one of the policy of the government is that to encourage more retail investors to enter in the capital markets, to encourage more retail investors to participate in the economic growth of the country. Okay, ma? So that is a good object. That decreases the inequality. So the government object is to decrease the inequality. How to decrease the inequality? We have to give an opportunity to the common man to participate in the economic development of the country. We have to give an opportunity to the common man to participate in the economic development of the country. So one of the ways the government has chosen to do this, how we should ensure that a common man is also participating in the economic development of the country. So one of the ways chosen by the government is encouraging the people to invest in the capital markets. Encouraging the people to invest in the capital markets. If you invest money in the capital markets, as the corporations grow, as the economy grow, you'll also be having some pie or some slice of the corporate profits. Okay, that is the reason. So therefore, one of the ways chosen by the government to reduce the inequality is to encourage more participants to enter the capital markets, thereby taking the corporate profits, thereby participating in the corporate profits. That is the way. Okay, so what is the main goal, man? What is the ultimate goal of the government? What is the ultimate goal of the government? To reduce inequality. To reduce inequality is the ultimate goal of the government. So to reduce the inequality, government has taken various steps. One of the steps is to encourage common man to participate in capital profits. To encourage common man. Okay, to encourage common man to participate in the development of the country, to participate in the economic development of the country, to participate in the economic development of the country. Okay, and how will you do that? How will you do this one? By encouraging. So for that, what we have to do? So we have to encourage this to reduce inequality. How we are reducing the inequality? By encouraging common man to participate in the economic development of the country. Okay, how will you encourage that person? By encouraging them to invest in capital markets. By encouraging them to invest in capital markets. By encouraging them to invest in capital markets. This is what the point. So therefore, the government is encouraging the investors. The government is giving a clear signal to the people that capital markets are not only meant for big investors or high net worth individuals. Capital markets are meant even for a common investor, even for a small person. That is popularly called as retail investors. In market terminology, it is called as retail investors. Retail investors means investing small amount. Retail investors are investing small amount. Okay, retail investors are investing a small amount. Here the comes is the problem. Sir, what is the link between that retail investors in the capital market and this chapter? The link is that, so when the more people are entering into the capital market, when the more number of small people are entering in the capital market, there will be more number of small shareholders in the company. There will be more number of small shareholders in the company. As there are more number of small shareholders, as they have invested very less amount, they will show very less interest in the company. As simple as that. So what is the, so this is the government object. It appears to be very good. Government object appears to be very sound, but the government is focusing only on one side. The government is focusing only one side. That means if you encourage the people to invest in the capital market, they will also participate in the economic development of the country. That is only one side the government is looking at. The ill effect or the prejudicial effect of this decision is that as more number of small shareholders in the company, more number of small shareholders in the company, they have invested less amount. Okay, as they have invested less amount, they are less participating. They will show less interest in participating in the decision making of the company. Okay, more number of small shareholders in the company, they have invested less amount. As they have invested less amount, they will show less interest in the company, less interest in the decision making of the company. This is what the point. Okay, as there are more number of shareholders in the small shareholders in the company, they have invested less amount. Accordingly, they will show less interest in the decision making of the company. As that, what is meant by less interest in the decision making of the company? That means they will not participate in the voting. Most of the retail investors will not attend the general meetings. Most of the retail investors will not attend the general meetings conducted by the company. It is at the general meetings, board of directors will take important decisions. Board of directors will take important decisions at the general meeting. But most of the shareholders are not attending the general meeting because they are small shareholders and they have invested less amount. For a company like Reliance, if I invested only 5,000, I'm not interested to participate in the decision making because my 5,000 investment is nothing. Even if I attend and vote also, it doesn't make any difference. With this perception, and moreover, I have invested less amount. Therefore, I'm least bothered about what is happening in the company. Okay, so therefore, more number of small shareholders are taking less interest in the company. They are not participating in the decision making of the company. That is one of the encouraging factors for the directors or top management to do the frauds. When all the shareholders are attentively watching the affairs of the company, attentively watching what is going on in the company, definitely they will be discouraged to commit frauds. But when the shareholders are not interested to participate in the decision making, they are not observing what is happening in the day-to-day affairs of the company. So that is where the source of encouragement to the directors to do the profits. That is what to do the frauds. Therefore, more corporate frauds has been increasing because one of the reason is that shareholders are not showing interest in the decision making. Why the shareholders are not interested? Because there are more number of shareholders and they have invested less money. How more number of shareholders has invested in the company? Because of encouraging by the government. As the government is encouraging by various measures, allowing various people, allowing even small people also to enter into the market. On one side, though the government intention is good, though the government is trying to encourage all the public, all the common man to participate in the economic development of the country, but still it has a negative effect. The negative effect is that since the shareholding is dilution, in simple words, it is called as diffusion of capital. In simple words, it is called as diffusion of capital. Diffusion of capital, or you can also call it as a fragmentation of shareholders. Okay, diffusion. The capital of the company is diffused or distributed among large number of small shareholders. among large number of small shareholders. Each shareholder is holding only small amount. Each shareholder is invested only very small amount in the company. Therefore, they are not interested. As they are not interested, directors have started committing frauds. Okay, that is the reason. So therefore, diffusion of capital or fragmentation of shareholders. So to simplify further, I can say that whatever the Britishers has followed, divide and rule. Divide and rule. As simple as that. Okay, divide and rule. I'm dividing the shareholders into large number. So therefore, each person is not interested. Each person is not interested. Accordingly, I can do whatever I want. This is one of the reasons for growing corporate frauds. Now, what is the reason for growing corporate frauds? More number of small shareholders, less investment, less interest, less monitoring, more opportunity to misconduct, more opportunity for misconduct. Okay, ma? Right. So therefore, to summarize once again, more shareholders, less investment by each shareholders, more shareholders, less investment by each shareholder, less investment by each shareholder, less investment by each shareholder, and less interest in the company's affairs, and less interest in the company's affairs, less interest in company's affairs, less interest in company's affairs. Therefore, less interest, less participation in decision making, less participation in decision making, less participation in decision making, less participation in decision making resulting in less monitoring, less participation in decision making resulting in less monitoring, and less monitoring resulting in more opportunity for the fraud. Less monitoring resulting in more opportunity for the fraud. Come on. So less participation in decision making and less participation resulting in less monitoring, so less monitoring resulting in more opportunity for misconduct, as simple as that. Okay, this is one of the reasons why the corporate frauds, more opportunities for misconduct, therefore more events, more corporate frauds, more number of corporate frauds, and that more number of corporate frauds increasing importance of government investigation. More corporate frauds, and it is resulting in more number of investigations, more number of statutory investigations, Okay, ma, this is what the point. So the government is encouraging more people, therefore more shareholders, less investment by each shareholder, less interest in company suffers because of less investment, and less interest is resulting in less participation in decision making and less attendance in the general meeting, and resulting in less monitoring, therefore more opportunity for misconduct, and that more opportunity for misconduct resulting in more corporate frauds and resulting in more number of statutory investigations. Okay, ma? So therefore, one of the reason for increasing frauds is diffusion of capital and fragmentation of shareholders. Okay, ma? So one of the reason for increasing capital is diffusion of capital. So therefore, one of the reason for is diffusion of capital, and fragmentation of shareholding, diffusion of capital and fragmentation of shareholding. This is one of the reason. And second reason is that means more number of shareholders are not interested. That means shareholders are not interested. Okay, so more number of shareholders are not interested. Okay, this not interested. Okay, lack of interest. This is the first point, is lack of interest among the shareholders to monitor the company's affairs. Next point. So that means more number of shareholders are not showing interest. Okay, fine. There are some shareholders who are showing interest, who are constantly monitoring. Yes, fine. So even those shareholders also, they are not able to doubt the decision making of the directors. They are convinced by the decisions taken by the directors. As the shareholders are usually less intelligent or less competent than the directors. Normally, I'm not saying that directors are very intelligent and shareholders are very dumb. In most of the cases, shareholders are less intelligent than the directors. Shareholders are less intelligent than directors. Therefore, even some shareholders who are actively attended the general meeting, that they have been convinced by the directors. Directors, with their intelligence, competence, and experience, they are convincing the shareholders that the decision taken by the directors is for the benefit of the company, not for their personal benefit. Okay, ma, directors with their intelligence, competence and experience, they are able to convince the shareholders, that whatever is the decision taken by the directors, that is for the good of the company, not for the personal benefit of the directors. That is the reason they are able to convince, because shareholders are less intelligent than the directors. Therefore, okay, less interest, so more interested but not intelligent. Interested but not intelligent. Interested but not intelligent. So this is not interested. So first point is shareholders are not interested. Some shareholders not interested. So many shareholders not interested. Okay, ma, many shareholders not interested. Many shareholders not interested. Many shareholders not interested. Some shareholders are interested, but they are not intelligent. Okay, ma, some shareholders are interested. Some shareholders are interested, but they are not intelligent enough. Therefore, they are not able, they have been convinced by the director's decision. They have been convinced by the director's decision. Next, very few shareholders who they, though they are intelligent and though they have not convinced by the director's decision making, though they have not been convinced by the director's decision making, but still they are unable to prove that the directors are misconduct because of lack of information. Because of lack of information. Shareholders does not have the access to, does not have full access to full records of the company, access to entire records of the company, entire records of the company. This is what the point. So that means, remember, shareholders has a right to only verify or inspect some of the registers, etc. Shareholders cannot verify each and every book and each and every record of the company. Inspection is a statutory right. It is not a contractual right. Inspection of companies' records is a statutory right. It is not a contractual right. Therefore, shareholders can verify only those records which has been specifically permitted in the Companies Act. That is like balance sheet, profit and loss account, register of members, etc. There are very few records. Shareholders cannot verify each and every purchase invoice, sales invoice, every voucher entry. Shareholders cannot verify that. That is not possible because of confidentiality. If that is permitted, even my competitor can purchase one share in my company and he can claim as a shareholder and he can verify all my secret records. That is the reason. Therefore, even you are a shareholder, you are not giving access, you have not given access to entire records of the company. You have given only limited access. Therefore, though very few shareholders, they are interested and they are intelligent, but they are incapable of proving misconduct due to lack of information. Interested, intelligent, but incapable. Interested, intelligent, but incapable. Okay, but this is one of the reasons. Very few shareholders. Okay, very few shareholders. Many shareholders are not interested. Out of that, some shareholders are interested, but they are not intelligent. Very few shareholders, they are intelligent, interested, but incapable because of statutory restrictions of accessing the records. Therefore, very few shareholders, even though they have not been convinced by the director's decision making, still they are not able, but they are not unable to prove the director's misconduct. Okay, that is the reason. Because of these three together is giving enormous opportunity to the directors, to do some misconduct or to misappropriate the assets or funds of the company. So resulting in more corporate frauds results in more number of investigation. That's where the importance of this chapter comes. The importance of this chapter comes because of more number of corporate frauds. The reason for more number of corporate frauds is this. These are the three reasons for more number of corporate frauds. Not interested, first point. Interested but not intelligent. Some shareholders, interested, intelligent but incapable. Few shareholders. So these are the three reasons. So all the three reasons together resulting in increasing number of corporate frauds. All the three reasons together resulting in increasing number of corporate frauds. Increasing number of corporate frauds. As the corporate frauds has increasing number of investigations. Increasing number of investigations. Okay, right. So in simple words, what I can say is that corporates has been transformed from democratic culture to bureaucratic culture. In simple words, to summarize, what I can say is that corporates has been transformed from democratic to bureaucratic. What is meant by democratic? Will of the common man. Democracy refers to will of the common man. Bureaucracy refers to a dictator kind of thing, a Hitler ruling or a dictator kind of thing. One man show. Okay, it's a ruling. It's a ruling or command by few powerful people. Democracy is the will of the people shall prevail. Democracy says the will of the common man or will of the majority shall prevail. Bureaucracy says only the will of some very few powerful man will prevail. Okay, so therefore corporates has been transformed from democratic to bureaucratic. So therefore, though the Companies Act has given many rights to the shareholders, though the Companies Act has apparently reveals that, okay, prima facie or on the face of it, though the Companies Act has given the powers to the shareholders, but in reality, the powers are lying with the directors. The powers are lying with the directors. Therefore, rather than running the company as per the willingness, as per the wish and whims of the shareholders, companies has been run by the directors as according to their personal interests. Rather than running the company as per the wish and whims of the shareholders, directors are running the company according to their personal interest. That is the reason for increasing number of corporate frauds. Okay, this is one reason. Another reason for increasing number of corporate frauds is that directors are not misappropriating the funds. This is also another reason. Another reason also is because of the government decision only. Though the government intention is good, but whatever the decisions is taken, whatever the decisions has been taken, that has some negative impact. So one of the negative impact of government decision of inequality, to reduce the inequality, encouraging more people to participate in the capital markets. One of the drawback of the decision is that more number of shareholders, less investment, less monetary. Another reason is that so in order to ensure that shareholders will have timely information, the SEBI has introduced some concept called as quarterly results. So that is the major reason. That is one of the prominent reason for window dressing or fraudulent financial reporting. Till now I have discussed about one type of fraud. If you look at our SA 240, there are two types of frauds. One type of fraud is misappropriation of assets. Another type of fraud is fraudulent financial reporting. Misappropriation of assets and fraudulent financial reporting. So till now I have discussed only one fraud, misappropriation of assets. That means directors for their personal benefit, diverting the funds or assets of the company to some other companies. Okay, by way of related party transactions. Okay, fine. Next, second type of fraud, fraudulent financial reporting. So this is not the fault of the director. It is the fault of the government system. The root cause is the SEBI's regulation of quarterly reporting. Okay, even though the government intention is good, what is the government intention? To ensure timely information to the shareholders, to ensure that information reaches to the shareholders on a timely basis. That is the reason government has mandated quarterly reporting. But that quarterly reporting has one negative effect. So because every company will not have every quarter as a bright quarter. You cannot expect any company to have a better quarterly results every time. You cannot expect any company anywhere in the world. You cannot expect that every quarter we should show brighter results. It is not possible. Be it Sachin Tendulkar or be it Rohit Sharma or be it Virat Kohli, you cannot expect that even irrespective of the history or track record of the batsman, you cannot expect that the batsman to hit six every ball. It is not possible for a batsman to hit six every ball. Therefore, some balls he may do, some balls he has to do defense, or sometimes in some matches he will go for a dugout also. Therefore, you cannot expect the player to play every match well and to hit every ball six. In a similar manner, you cannot expect every company to show good results every quarter. We cannot expect every company to show good results every quarter. So, but still the government is asking us to show quarterly results. It is the immaturity or emotional instability of the shareholders, which is forcing the directors to show better results, even though their results are not better. Had the shareholders are matured enough and they are able to digest unfavorable quarterly results, maybe the company is going for some expansion, research and development expansion, or maybe some long-term decision. Because of some long-term decisions, you may not be able to see better quarter results, or because of the general economic conditions, you may not be able to see better corporate results. There may be 101 reasons. There may be 101 reasons for lack of better performance. Wherever a company has not shown better results in a quarterly reports, shareholders should not be discouraged. If the shareholders have that maturity, directors are not inclined to show better results. Directors are forced to show better picture than the real picture because of the emotional instability or immaturity or lack of wisdom among the shareholders and the government mandate of quarterly results. Okay, here fraudulent financial reporting, though the directors are not interested to falsify the accounts, but still they are forced or compelled, to falsify the records just to convince the shareholders. Because if you look at our financial management, the fundamental object of any finance manager is to maximize the wealth of a shareholders. How to maximize the wealth of shareholders? By increasing the share price. Therefore, so far as this is concerned, directors are only performing their duties, as simple as that. Because even they tell openly, even they discuss openly also, shareholders are not convincing. They are not able to convince most of the shareholders. They will get disappointed even if one quarter results are not good. Every quarter, every year, they want the better results. The less frequency the results are shown, more probability of frauds. As simple as that. So the corporate fraud and financial reporting is quarterly reporting and pressure for better performance and increasing aspirations of the shareholders. So shareholders are not recognizing one thing. So as the time passes on, they have to reduce their expectations in the stock market rather than increasing. Because in a competitive world, you cannot earn the same returns as the Warren Buffett might have earned 30 years back or 20 years back. You cannot expect the current investors also to earn the same investors. The present investors, they cannot expect the same return because the competition is intensified. Therefore, they should be satisfied. They should be competent. They should be They should be satisfied with less return. They should be content with less rate of return. But still, the shareholders are increasing their aspirations, increasing their expectations from the company, and company is forced to show better results than actual results because of the shareholders increasing expectations. So therefore, two things are required. One thing, if possible, government has to slightly change this quarterly reporting. Another thing, government and directors should encourage the shareholders to think from a long-term perspective, and we have to convince that economic conditions are being intensified. Therefore, we have to reduce our expectations. We can't expect 25% return or 30% return. According to me, if shareholders are content enough with the inflation beating results, say for example, if your bank fixed deposit is giving 5% and the shareholders are expecting 12% or 15% from the stock market, yes, companies are able to deliver that much of performance. But if they are expecting 25%, no, you can't do that one. So because of increasing expectations of the shareholders and because of stringent economic conditions, both are coming on two sides and putting pressure on the directors. On one side, the performance is decreasing because of increasing competition, deteriorating macroeconomic conditions. On one side, companies' performance has been decreasing. On the other side, shareholders' expectations, aspirations has been increasing. Everybody wants four-wheeler, everybody wants to be HK. So their income expectations or aspirations has been increasing. Therefore, there is a wider gap between the company's performance and the shareholders' expectations. Therefore, directors are forced to falsify the records to match their expectations. That is what the point. So even though directors might not have taken a single rupee out of the company, but still accounts are falsified because of these reasons. So therefore, one reason is misappropriation of assets. Another reason is fraudulent financial reporting. In both cases, due to both reasons, corporate frauds has been increasing. The increasing number of corporate frauds are resulting in increasing number of investigations. Okay, right. So this is what the background for this chapter. Now we'll proceed with the main provisions.